Hello YouTube, this is Iriseon, and today I'm playing Minecraft Beta 1.9 Pre-Release 5 yet again. I've been working very hard on my world here, trying to connect the tracks and adding new schematics and stuff, but I might as well go over and show what I've done so far. I kind of had plans to finish this, but I don't know if it'll ever be finished. It's just one of those things, you know, you just keep working and working. Or, not really work, just playing, you know, just making stuff in Minecraft. It's the, you know, the beautiful creative quality of it, and, how it inspires everyone to be blah, 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 blah. Yes. Don't get inspirational now. That's not my good points. But one of my good points is that I've taken some of the best schematics I think so far, and really tried to incorporate them. And I'm now really trying to track down and get a hold of who did what, because it's hard when I've taken some schematics from compilation maps and things. Don't you dare do that. You could see as I went past the track, there was some blown up spots. It just happens, you know. And some of this track is weirdly designed. Like this part right here was made all by hand, underneath the ice, with the water coming in and everything. And I just took the path of least resistance, which was the sandbar that was close to the surface of the water itself, or the ice itself. It didn't go too deep. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Alright, this I definitely know where it came from. This is Tavi Writer's Minecart station, uglified by me. Oh, let's get the hell out of here before that creeper comes and blows it up. Oh, and I kind of went a bad way. I don't really want to go this way. And it looks like there's a lot of guys spawning on the ice now. They never used to. There used to be kind of like rules, what mobs could spawn on what. That seems to have been thrown out the window. It's just, I think it's all light level now. And I really don't want to go this way. I kind of wanted to show you. Whatever. Let's go through the whole thing. I've got a zipper elevator that I'm very proud of, that I wanted to show off. Again, I didn't do it myself. It was a schematic, but I had to retrofit it for an area, so I couldn't. None of this stuff can be completely just MC edited in, because it never looks quite right until you get in there. Really, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Oh. You guys really just want to dampen my mojo, huh? I tell you, man. Animals. Right here you can see the difference in water level. That's an unfortunate result of me chopping away a lot of terrain to make way for new terrain. In fact, the whole area is filled with abandoned mine shafts. In fact, it's kind of funny, the area we were just going through under the ice, there should be a stronghold down there, according to my Eye of Ender, but of course there's not. It's all old terrain stuff. So that was the alpha area back there with all the ice. This is a beta area, and it's only beta because it's Old Shoes temp server that we're on right now. I've retrofitted with a track, and what's interesting about this place is that, like a lot of Old Shoes, it's not just... He is just one guy. He has friends come in and whatever, people that work on the server. What's really interesting about this temp server, they were like in between betas. They were waiting for another version of Minecraft or whatever. But the interiors are fantastic. There's always something secret to find. Really, we just did that? Creeper? No. That's also what's really good about wavy tracks like this right here, the diagonal tracks. You'll tend to push any mob off it. What's wrong with that tree? Anyway, so yeah, the Old Shoes Beta 1.6, I believe, temp server was nothing really much to look at on the outside, except for the interior. It has a lot of cool stuff. I purposely didn't touch any of it, though, because at one point, this minecart track was very loopy, and it tried to touch a lot of the highlights of what I thought were cool buildings, and even tried to get interiors, and I realized after a while, I'd kind of just wrecked a bunch of it. So then I got into the mindset of, well, let's just try to make this track as unobtrusive as possible. Like, for example, this track right here goes right on top of a fence, and then continues up, and goes right towards one of my favorite things about, we're now coming up on Broville right here. Boom! Oh, I love that. It's got little inscriptions by the people who built it. Some of it rude and crude, and some of it just memorable. It's very cool. In fact, I made sure to properly sort of honor Old Shoes and his bros by this minecart track will end up right in his house. It was his main house to sort of overlook the whole area. You know, it's like the cap, the cherry on top. Like, we're finally done. Whew. And back there's a little stone thing. They sort of indicated the borders of the areas that people could work on in SMP. I'm pretty sure, or the borders of what they wanted the village to be. So you come right up here. This was his original minecart track, except it had to be retrofitted for new, what is this stuff called? Booster rails, right? Also, this is all lapis lazuli for in the water parts of the track. Some parts I've tried to camouflage from mapping programs, which doesn't work all that well, but you can kind of blend it a little bit by using lapis lazuli for the water, and you know, like sandstone for on top of sand. Ideally, I would love to have all my track just follow natural terrain, but the problem with that is just the fact that you have mobs walking in your path all the time. I really kind of wish that Minecraft, the eventual version, will, when you're in a minecart and it's going fast enough, just push every single mob out of the way, because you have to be going, you have to have almost an obscene amount of power just to push through something, and they have to be jumping or something else. Now this area is going to be pretty boring. This is the original subway system. In fact, if you go on the other side of the track and go back, it'll take you right back under the ice, under a big compass sign, to the very end, to where we started at Tabby Rider's minecart station, which I've kind of uglified. But this is original right here, except for all the new rails, the powered rails. It was a cool way to get around underneath Broville without having... And this is not the newest version of Broville, mind you. And in fact, Old Shoes and those guys, they're working on new stuff now. Like, it's like a melon port or something. They've got a couple others. All of them fantastic. It's always impressive to see. In fact, one of the best parts of all this stuff, that was the very last stop on the normal, natural minecart track. All this stuff I added. I just continued the... I just copied and cloned the minecart track on and on and on and on. Copied some sections of curves, copied subsections of elevation changes, just to get where I needed to go. In fact, this here is passing dangerously close under the water where you're going by, when you get that nice shot of Broville going across with the lighthouse and everything. What was I mentioning before? There was something I said and then I interrupted myself. Happens all the time. Who knows? But I've kind of got to babble on here, as this is extremely long. We are passing through parts, like the lighthouse. It has some caves. It's like right around here or something. And I had to go all the way up to, I think it's Awesome Mike or Awesome Matt G's Machu Picchu, I think it was. Some sort of big temple. And it was kind of played with in the compilation map, so there's stuff that he never even added, so it's a weird hybrid, you know what I mean? I haven't really done much with it. I just like the structure itself, but honestly, I never visit this thing. It's just a monstrosity. It's horrible to get up and down, you know? If you wanted to go live inside and you had your bed there, every morning it'd be like 40 steps down, well, that's probably selling it short. A lot of steps down, a lot of steps back up. And try to haul stuff back and forth. No thank you. I did choose to give it a lip here. When I took away the whole side, it looked a little too ugly, so I had to give it some semblance. This doesn't look that great either. Look, I just copied glass in, so the redstone torches are staying. But you can see there's a difference. It never used to all be swamp water either. I find that interesting. It's like grown. The swamp water has grown in and moved into the area and morphed in, as well as some plants now have ivy vines or whatever that didn't used to. So I find that interesting. Is it growing? I would love that if it really were. Regardless, we're passing under a huge tree from the custom map, for the compilation map, I mean. And this part's kind of a fail. It's so boring. You know what I mean? It's just under the earth, but there's parts of the track you just have to hide for aesthetic reasons. But regardless, you know, I thought for a while that's a neat area. You'll be able to see that later. Not in this video though. But I tried to blend a lot of the sharp drop-offs you get. The cliffs, you know, when you get new versions of Minecraft and chunk borders don't line up. But after a while now, I've kind of stopped messing with chunk borders, and I've just kind of let them be. I think I'm gonna leave them in this map as sort of a reminder, or it's just a part of Minecraft now. You know, why hide it? Some things need it for beautification, and others don't need it because it's sort of like it's blatant anyway. Like when you come across Bracco, which is a huge desert, and it abuts against a forest, it's like, alright, whatever. All right, you can have your sharp drop-off. That's fine. And this ugly little thing is that is the super fast track, the track I should have taken to get here. That was the scenic track that goes all around Broville, the one we just took. But there's one that goes straight to my base, it's underground, it's from a hand-dug tunnel that was useless. I'd done it to just find diamonds and find spawners and stuff, and after a while you're going under the earth at bedrock level, straight. You find a certain amount of stuff, but it becomes a chore, right? And walking back and forth. It's definitely no branch mine, right? It's like the Machu Picchu thing, walking up and down stairs. So that has Minecart track placed all down it. It's really spooky down there and dark with a new type of I don't know, what do you call it, fog effect or something? When you get close enough to bedrock now, it's ridiculously dark. That doesn't mean your torches don't work against monsters. Your torches still, the light levels still take care of monsters the same as before, but the difference is the fact that you just can't see as well as you could. Right, so here is, yay, my ender portal. Interestingly enough, if you go into the end, right, and then exit the game, because I thought, I was like, oh man, I'm so gonna edit the end in MC Edit, but the version of MC Edit I had, even though it's an alpha, didn't have the features for the end in it yet. So when you go in to the end and exit out of the game and go into MC Edit, it doesn't recognize, I think it's the dim -1 folder that holds the blocks for the end. I think so. Did I pick that up? Yeah. So yeah, there's always that. But what's interesting about it is, what was I saying? When you go into the end, that's the end. Right. I honestly can't remember. That's amazing. Anyway, it was a good point too. I was shut up about it. Alright, so this is an area of, you can see the blue is over the water, and then sandstone's over this area. This is kind of tried to hide it in MC Edit, or MC Map and stuff. It just doesn't. Oh yeah, I know what I want to say. If you go into the end and exit your game and come back, your achievements start over. Minecraft just assumes you must have died. Like, who exits the end, right? You know, like, who exits and comes back? You'd have jumped to your death before then. I guess that's what they think. But it essentially treats you as if it's a brand new game. So yeah, I had to get rid of that and use my backups. This is awesome. This is Mex Tremel's airport. And why I remember that Mex Tremel did it, I don't know, but he's one I can definitely tell you made this, and it is freaking awesome. All the planes are detailed, these little fire trucks and stuff. This is so cool. I really do love this. I apologize, I've shown you this all before. I love this castle here. This goes straight to the end. Oh, and I miss you. I should have taken you instead of this long ride. And there's the snow popping up over half blocks. I always wonder too, in Minecraft, and not just talking about, oh, we're in the crunch time now to patch out all the bugs. Would you consider snow layer on a half block a bug? Hanging above that? I kinda would. Just for aesthetic reasons. But it doesn't bother the game at all. That could stay there forever, and some people be vocal about it, other people really wouldn't care. So I always wonder what takes priority in Mojang. Modiang. I don't know the proper pronunciation, but they seem to be pretty lenient on that. We're coming up in the parking garage. This is extremely dangerous. I can't tell you how many times creepers have blown me up near this parking garage. They love this. Like, look at all this glowstone. It's kind of disconcerting how much light is in here, yet it doesn't cover much of anything. There's the F-16s, whatever they are, 14s, 15s, who knows? Jets, my friends, jets in blocky form. I don't know if you can really differentiate. Oh, you probably could. Anyway, that welcome at Reddit Airport, Mextral had it in a different area of the airport. I've just kind of moved it to block a piece of new chunk that came in egregiously high. Look how high that is. Ridiculous. And again, this minecart track doesn't do the best at showing what the airport, like all it has, but I figure if you really wanted to check it out for yourself, you would walk inside and go check everything out. What it does do is give you a pretty good overview without ruining too much. I had the track originally, it went right through the middle and then right down the runway, and it kind of just wrecked it. It just wrecked the whole look. So I got rid of that and made sure to put it off to the side. It means a longer ride, but if you really wanted a fast ride and not a scenic ride, you would just take the Nether, right? Because it pops you right there. Alright, now we're coming on. Look at this. I love these swampy areas. These little vines, they add so much, and yet it's so simple. By the way, Old Shoes and those guys have done some fantastic things with vines to make things pop, make the look really pop for some of their new stuff. But anyway, here's a beautiful, I don't know who made the ship, it was in the compilation map. This is my old ugly waterfall base. It looks really, it looked really cool before until I started importing other people's schematics. I'd be like, wow, I suck as a builder, I'm a better adventurer. And apparently now concentrated on MC Edit, whatever. But here I have my newest edition. Now this used to be, one of my big things when I first started was accidentally coming across a toaster trap, which used the southwest rule to burn mobs. And then naturally what flowed from that was a water elevator for this whole thing. This actually was built by hand. It was TNT'd all the way down. And then I filled in all the holes with smooth stone. Yeah, it was nuts. It took a long time. I don't know why I even did that, just for appearances. But it had the water elevator. Now it's got a zipper elevator, which is so handy and so awesome. This is my proof of concept to see if I can edit in and also line up redstone and do all that kind of junk. Make sure it would work, and I don't know, the wires should propagate a certain amount. You don't need to ride all the way down too. It's a pretty slow to ride it down, but it's really fast going up. So if you're going down, you just jump down after the stairs have gone down a certain amount. But this is an old area. I had, like I said, I had the water elevator and it worked fine, and then it all got nerfed, a certain version of Minecraft. But now, with pistons, oh my, that is so cool. Here we go. Yeah! Yeah! Ugh. I love it. I freaking love it. I must have played with this at least 20 times when I first got it working. Like, yes, this is so cool. Look how much faster falling is in the elevator. I guess that makes sense, right? It's like they disappear, though. No. Sometimes you can get stuck in it, too. So it's not perfect every time. But 2 times in a row, quick and fast. I didn't have to climb a ladder. I didn't have to touch a button. Works for me. It actually takes up quite a bit of room, but it never sticks out of this place. It never pops its ugly head out to wreck the atmosphere that it's a perfectly contained elevator. This is the back of my... Whoa! Here's the back. It doesn't pop out anywhere. That was important. You know what I mean? Just for looks. Not that this looks all that great, it's just the side of a cave, but you don't want all, like, redstone apparatus and stuff popping out of it. Now the trick is to get up here without giving a future way for mobs to get up here. I'm always on the lookout for Mojang and Notch and Jeb. I never know what they're gonna do next. I never put a portal close to my house because I always figured one day there's gonna be all sorts of horrible things streaming out of this portal. There's no way I'm putting that close to my house. And the fact that they would bug structures sometimes. You know, you'd get identical portals popping out of nowhere when you get back to the overworld because of the way it lined up. Regardless. So here is... oh, and if you think this is the only section of track, it's really not. We're about to reach the end of this section of... I guess it's still Iriseon's Ice World, right? I guess. It's more like my schematic world. There's my Wicked Ugly Tower. That's the next thing I'm going to put zipper elevators on both sides because of the fact it now has water elevators. It'll mean the horns, it has kind of like horns here, all obsidian, and that was just to hide the water elevator aspect of it. But it'll mean they'll have to get a little bit bulkier to accommodate the zipper elevators, but I'm hoping not too much bulkier. I've played around with it, and I think it's only going to be about 5 or 6 blocks. The horns are going to be 5 or 6 blocks longer. It takes about an 11 by 12 space, plus whatever height you want. Yeah, this stuff, I cannot remember what that schematic is, but it's a completely awesome, huge town. Yeah, why am I foxing with you guys, huh? I don't want to fox with you. And Bracco's that way. Bracco's, in fact, straight that way. Also dug by hand. I don't know why I do these long corridors. They're really pointless. But, whatever. Alright, now I'm going to go back in the Nether. Unfortunately, I did a rambly, sort of buzzed video the other day, which didn't illuminate anyone. Just confused them, as usual, with nonsense about this stuff. Not this track. This track was a long time ago. Lots of building. Lots and lots and lots of stuff by hand. All in the more innocent times of Minecraft. The more beta-y times. Oh, man. You guys just won't quit, will you? I'm actually, I like powered rails. I used to, when we first had to start getting into this, I thought, you know, what's wrong with boosters? Come on, but with powered rails, if you have them strategically placed, Pigman like that, no big deal. No big deal. That track up there, that goes straight to the front of Max Tremmel's airport and that castle there that you saw. It's just a way to get back down. I figure if I want to go back up, I'll just pop off the minecart and put it up. Something like Tabby Rider's minecart station is sort of the epitome of wiring design for a minecart track. You know, it's just, it's great. It's so useful. It's so functional. It's so, it's perfect. It really is perfect. You guys are sandwiching me? Oh, man. Gangbang. Pork chop sandwiches. Anyway, yuck. Disgusting. What was I saying? I was all with effusive praise, and then we got into Bukkake. Oh, God, stop it. Okay, we're gonna go to a different part. A different part. But yeah, what I was gonna say is, me connecting nether tracks like that, there's some spots I want to have a button to press, like a choice like that did, and go where I want to go. And other times, I don't really care. You know, I'll just pick up the minecart and go, like I just did. You know, some parts I feel you can't automate everything. It was sort of a, I think it was MIT. They had said that every program eventually has to do mail, which was, I think that I'm not saying this correctly, but they were sort of commenting on the fact that it seemed like a lot of programs seem to add way too many features until, you know, they could all do email. You didn't need it, you know. So yeah, there's a lot of times where simple is better. In my mind, you know, in someone else's mind, someone way more technically minded, they may love doing wiring. Good for you. I don't mean that in a dismissive way. I do honestly mean good for you. I just, I can't wrap my head around some of it, and a lot of it I just get bored really quickly, so I just end up doing something else. Kind of tell by the speech patterns that very distracted, very don't stick to any one thing too long. Now this is part of the Burning City. A guy on Reddit. I have to go back and get this name. I fail him every time, him or her, with their beautiful design, wrecked by all this snow that no longer falls. It's too bad. Interesting, like I said, that that water spreads, the swamp water spreads, the vines seem to spread on existing terrain I had that doesn't have it anymore. So too does abandoned mine shafts. Not only do they occupy their own chunks, but they're offset. They'll go into old chunks. So I have stuff that's from alpha or beta that now has, because I cut close to it, now has abandoned mine shafts under it. They seem to just organically generate into it. I love it. I freaking love it. It's that type of, that unquantifiable magic that you can have when stuff is growing around you. I don't know, I love it. Did I mention that? Did I emphasize that enough? Alright, so this is a highly edited version of one of the Burning City schematics that George and I worked on as part of a server. And this isn't too edited, that's still just a mob killer. In fact, what's interesting about this house is most of it is solid stone. And I always seem to chug at this one spot. It's very interesting. But most of that thing is solid stone. So I've played around with emptying it out some and trying to make rooms, but that's not even close to done yet. Anyway, if we go this way, that will take you back to the ice world proper, to my spawn point, to the house. But it's across a ridiculous amount of ocean. Ocean, deep, nothing around you, ocean, which is also cool in a way. You know, you see lava popping up, and then you float down there, and there's things under there. But kind of boring to track across. There's some schematics I've started to add along that area. But yeah, here is the Enterprise. Now, I don't think this is the scale model, the original fabled and hailed scale model. I think this is someone else's work. It was in the compilation map, and it was just neat to include. Again, this is something else that has a wonderful interior. Look at sponges! What are they doing? But yeah, it's pretty dark in here, huh? Think that's gonna be dangerous one day? I don't know, I've kind of been ballsy with going under the ice like that and not worrying about lights, because what am I gonna do with the ice? It's just gonna melt on me. Alright, now this is Rayclaw City. I don't have his name, but I can... it'll be in the description or an annotation, because I know exactly where I got this from. This is really cool. And this is another one that's, I mean, there's some interiors that are empty. This isn't the most detailed place, but a lot of it, it's just it's the overall package, right? It's the sum of its parts. And some of the lights up there are melting the ice. A lot of weird things happen down here. Minecraft does not know how to handle the fog down here and the way the light goes, because it's like bright daylight, but not, you know. I'm surprised we haven't seen more monsters. And I just had, the track was originally very efficient, but I just had to go past this McDonald's. I friggin' love it. There's a couple other buildings just like this, but, oh yeah, speaking of the devil, huh? Zombie. I love this, it's so neat. Excuse me. But just with really experience orbs, cool. But just with a little bit of, you know, yellow and red dye, these big chunky blocks have made the suggestion complete. It all fits, you know. Your mind can easily fill in the blanks. Like, oh yeah, I get it. He's got little signs up here. Car fix. Look at these guys. Those guys look... Why is it... Really? Why is there green on their heads? Do you guys see that? Oh, I'm not looking at you. I'm looking at the green on their faces. Yeah, really weird things happen in here. with the way the fog interprets itself under ice like this. One thin layer of ice. All your faces are messed up! That's weird. Anyway. And we see how the transparency affects each other. We can no longer see the water, they can see the city full, and then whoop, come back up. That it's kind of useless there, but it's just cool. I don't know, it's just something to do. Like, you know, I never expected the whole fog thing, now the depth darkness thing, but it's just really cool to see. And this is where our minecart fun ends. This little this is also from the compilation map. It's sort of a big farm. It's like an eco dome, you know, with Pauly Shore and someone else. I never watched that movie. Any movie with Pauly Shore, it's just funny, just to say. Well, anyway, I'm sorry I've taken up so much of your time. But this took me a lot of time, and I just wanted to share it. There's been a lot more stuff to work on, more people's schematics to take, and to properly try to credit here, and get a handle on this, and see where it's going. Eventually it might be a adventure map. There's actually a lot of mazes underground that I haven't shown off, because we're taking a cart ride, you know? And this should have been a diving board, but it's not. But, yeah. It's been Iriseon. And this used to be my ice world, and now is a Frankenstein monster.